Hey, so it's the 4th of July, so I thought I would walk you around and we'll take a look at some of the American-made things we have in inventory right now and maybe tell you a little bit about them. Yeah, I'm here by myself because everyone else has the day off. All right, so first, let's check out some Bose. You know, love them or hate them. They are an iconic American brand of hi-fi. These are the 901 Series 2s. Series 2s are my favorite ones because they used domed paper for the surrounds on the speakers instead of foam, so you don't have to do the refoams. And if you know anything about these speakers, you know you do not want to refoam these speakers. These are, each one of these has 9 4-inch drivers, one on the front and then 8 on the back. They're interesting. So all 4-inch drivers, no crossovers, no tweeters, no nothing. They come with a little EQ box, which is exceedingly difficult to run with modern equipment. So you really want to have a vintage setup for that. Basically, that's like an extreme treble booster to make the things usable. They really do look amazing. Really good sort of mid-century look. We're selling this pair for $9.99. It's been refurbished. It's got a new grill on it, and the tulip stands are pretty desirable. As for sound, they're interesting. They're not bad sounding, but they got their own thing going on. Some people really love them, and I won't hold it against them. And these are a pretty special set of Klipsch Cornwalls. These are Cornwall 1s, so they made these from the 50s up until the early 80s, this version of them. These are factory walnut veneer, not the bare plywood, which a lot of these ended up being. Let's see. These ones are interesting because these are the sort of horizontal ones. So normally your mid-range and tweeter would be mid-range and tweeter all in an upright format, and this would be centered. These ones, they had the idea that these could be laid on their side in case they didn't take up enough room. You wanted them to take up even more, you could do that. The upside about this is that they have a little bit less of a horizontal dispersion, but the imaging is tightened up a little bit because of that. So you do have to toe them in a little bit, but they do sound really nice, make a really nice sound stage. These particular ones have been upgraded with all Kreitz crossovers and drivers. They sound great. We're selling these ones for $19.99, and they'll make someone really happy. These are new Klipsch, so heritage series as they call them, basically because they're old, or old designs, or the look is an old design, but internally they're quite modern and nice. This is the Forte, which is not that old of a design. This is, you know, the 80s is when this one came out and they decided to reissue it. Just because it's a good sort of mid-sized in between the other ones they have. So the Heresies are obviously classics. They've been making these forever. The new ones have pretty much the same setup. Modern versions of the drivers that used to be in them. And these are also now rear ported, which really helps with the bass, which is always sort of the weak point of Heresies. The Fortes have what they call a Tractrix horn, which I think is just, you know, bigger. Brings out the mids a little bit more, a little less scooped than they used to be. And the Fortes also have a 15-inch passive radiator on the back instead of ports, which does really help with the bass. The driver setup is actually pretty similar to a Heresy, except that they've made the cabinet volume a little closer to, you know, the modern speaker design, so you get a little bit more balanced response and more bass. These ones are 5,000 a pair for the Fortes, and 3,200 a pair for the Heresies. These are brand new and come in a bunch of different finishes, and these are all made in Arkansas. We've also got a pair of Heresy ones, the original Heresies. These are original. We've got the little things there. So these are late 70s ones. And they work great. We're selling these ones for $600 a pair. Okay, these are Dahlquist DQ-20s. These are sort of made in America is fudged a little bit because the woofer is an Advent driver. But the mid-range and the tweeter are both European. But the whole thing is assembled in America. So I'll count it. There's some things we just don't make here. Although we do make drivers, but a company like this is doing a lot of off-the-shelf stuff, which is why, you know, there's no real such thing as a Dahlquist driver. That's why they use Advent and Peerless and ScanSpeak in there. Really nice speakers and an American design, so we'll count it. We're selling this pair for $8.99. This is a Threshold 400A, late 70s, Nelson Pass design, Class A amp. Pretty interesting. Idles at about 200 watts, so, you know, if you're concerned about heat or an electric bill, this might not be the thing for you. But great amp. And yeah, can't say enough good things about it. Great condition. We're selling this one for $11.99. This is a Macintosh 2105, 100 watts per channel. This one is mid 70s. It's a later build from the run of these. This one's been completely rebuilt, all made in New York. Not every single transistor and capacitor is made in the US, but you know, that'll be difficult to do. So anyway, this is a great amp and it's totally ready to go. We're selling this one for $2,800. Here's a nice Mac stack. So C26 preamplifier. The scope is actually sold already, so we'll move on from that one. This is the 2505 50 watt per channel amplifier and an MR74 tuner. All in their wood cases. Great stuff. So we're selling this whole set minus the scope for $4,000. Just great stuff. New glass on all of this. All made in New York in the early 70s. Really just fantastic. That's why we have it out here at our main demo. And this guy, Macintosh 275. Classic amp. They've reissued this a bunch of times. This one happens to be an original one, so mid 60s. Made in New York. Actually, everything in this except the tubes are made in the US. Sprayed caps, everything going on in there. It's excellent. Even this switch, which you might recognize from Fender Telecaster, same exact switch. Just really cool. This one, I'm not sure what we're selling this for. It just came in on consignment and I've got to go through it first, but it will be available. This is a Fisher 500C stereo receiver, all tube, everything down to the radio tuner is tube. This is a classic piece. It's got a black lacquered case on it. I'm not sure the provenance of that, but yeah, great condition. All Telefunken tubes, so not American tubes, but we won't hold that against it. It is American made, and it's a beautiful piece. I'm selling this one for $1,200. This is a Marantz 3300 preamp. This is made in Sun Valley, California, before, well, sort of during when they were switching production to Japan, when they had it in California and Japan. California stuff is a lot more expensive, as you can imagine. But this is a great little preamp, one of my favorite Marantz preamps ever made. And we're selling this one for $10.99. Well, that's just some of the stuff we have here. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Remember, America only needs two kings, Elvis
and burger.